What's going on, everybody? Um, I wanted to make a video on how to make herbal teas in general, but maybe an addition to moonlight tea and sun tea, sun infused, moonlight infused, and right here I let it sit out. This one is a little bit of both, and it got to sit out midday yesterday, but it was a full moon last night, so it's been a full moon, and it sat out underneath the full moon the whole time. And basically I cooked it yesterday. And how you make the teas, I'll just flash it real quick. How you make the teas, all you have to do is bring a boil and then add a couple teaspoons of whatever you want to add to it, almost like a teaspoon per cup. And that's with dried herbs. You're probably going to switch it up if it's fresh. You have to experiment what you actually like and want. Of course, the desire for taste and more influence of it depends on how much you put in. So work with that. And all you have to do is bring the water to a boil, whatever water you're choosing. Spring water or distilled water or some type of filtered water. And then you bring it to a boil. After you do that, you add your herbs in, and you can let it simmer in the pot, but you gotta watch because the water's gonna rise. So you can turn it off and let it steep, and you just do it for like up to 5 minutes. I've heard people say to do for 30, but 20, 30, but I think 5 is fine. I mean, it's fine. And then you just put a lid on it. Obviously turn off the heat too. That's how you steep. Like, you could boil it with it in, but then you gotta have an open pot and a lot of water, and you're gonna lose water. It's gonna concentrate it more. If you want to do that, you can, but it's kind of like a longer process, and it takes longer time. You don't have to do it with a lid necessarily, but if you want to steep it and do it a short time, then yeah. And like I said, you're only gonna steep it for 3 to 5 minutes, and that's pretty much it. You can add your own herbal collection into them, your herbs and spices, whatever. If you want to add honey, milk, I would do it once it cools down though, when it's not heated, because you want to retain the properties of the raw honey and the raw milk. So, or whatever you're going to add into it, I would do it when it cools down, or it's not scalding hot. That's basically how you can make the teas. So on to this tea, I let it sit out in the full moon, and then all you have to do, if you want to do something like this, you can even put a netting if you don't want bugs getting in here. But no bugs got in this one, and I don't really care about it, because it's only going to be for a night. But this sat over all night and like midday yesterday, so it's got it infused with solar. You want to use glass jars. When I actually made the herbs yesterday, I actually used Pyrex. So yeah, I boiled it in Pyrex with the herbs. I forgot to mention that a second ago. In here we got elderberries, and then I just added, I don't like making stuff too confusing. There's a cinnamon stick, and I just used filtered water for my, I might use this spring water that I bought, or this filtered water from my fridge. The sunlight and the moon, probably, definitely sunlight, but the moon too, we got to give it credit, can purify your water, along with, right before you're drinking it, giving it your best wishes and best intentions and having it to heal you or rejuvenate you or give you energy or cure your thirst, whatever intention you put to it, because that's molecule structures and you can change the chemistry just by your thoughts, believe it or not. Ripley's. So I had the elderberries, the cinnamon stick, and then somehow some Lydian leaf got in there too. I had a sip of it earlier. It was really good. Like I said, it was full moon, so even greater. And then this just, it purifies it. The moon and the sun, it does purify it. You want to use glass and not plastic. This is a ball jar. Only jars I really know, glass. And it has a nice setup over here if you really want to get specific of how much it's holding. Ball mason. It was up to like 2, but I drank some. Probably gonna have some more. It was actually the rest. And that was actually when I made that. I'm gonna bring you down to my other concoction. When I made that though, it was, I used the same dry ingredients again. So like I made a pot maybe like a day before, but then I did it again. So it wasn't as strong because the ingredients were used like twice, a couple times. Down here, we got another one. This is what I actually cooked it in, or boiled it in. This is like the only stuff I really heat though. To extract the ingredients. That's why you want to bring it to a boil. It has to be to like a rapid boil. You can even throw it in a mug if you're looking to do something smaller. But yeah. So this is sitting all night too. I just put the lid on a little bit ago. Just there was a couple bugs in here. And you know, sitting in the sun too. And again, I threw in another cinnamon stick. There's wild yam and sarsaparilla. So I'll just mention, I guess, the medicinal properties of the ones that I drank. Elderberry is supposed to remove excess mucus. Obviously has nutrients in it to some degree. It actually tastes pretty good. And it's supposed to boost your immune system. The cinnamon stick, I don't know, you know, definitely for flavor. And I know it has some properties too, probably like antibacterial, antiviral. Helps get rid of unwanted bugs, which is basically just from cooked food for the most part. But they can come, I guess, from raw. But more so cooked, anything cooked food. The wild yam and sarsaparilla, they're for your endocrine system, your I don't know, whatever system, your nervous system, your adrenals. That's why I'm actually taking the wild yam and sarsaparilla. And again, the cinnamon stick was for flavor, but I know it also does other things too. But the wild yam and sarsaparilla, I don't know all the medicinal properties of them, but they're high in like some vegetable iron, and again, they got nutrients in them, so that's why I use them. That's pretty much all for this video, you know. Covered a decent amount, so if you want to make your own teas, you can do it. And they're not always the best tasting teas either. But not really drinking them for taste anyway. So that's all I'd like to express. If you have any video requests, let me know. Thanks for tuning in. Sub to the channel. Leave your comment below.